Arise roster is one that maybe as a name we're familiar with, but as this composition might be a little strange to us.
Yeah, I think we've seen a number of rosters under the Arial Rise banner over the years in T2, and I think for this matchup and this series specifically, I'm with Jesse and Lax on this. I don't know what to make of the map bans. I think I hesitate to ever bring this up, but I did used to play for Mirage once. It's not a good era of Siege, and no one should ever watch those games ever again. They should be burnt. But if I were on Mirage right now, or if I were in the position of Arial Arise playing against a team like Mirage, I'd be very happy with an Oregon club. I really like if you're the lower tier team, if you're the team that just does not have the T1 experience, playing on cookie cutter maps like Oregon and Club feels very safe. That feels very good. That feels like an opportunity to kind of just turn it into a gunfight. And again, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if it's more Jesse's point where it's, just a bad week of scrims on Chalet, or if it's more Lax's point where maybe they're overlooking Arial and not trying to compromise video of other maps they might want to bring out against Wildcard. Should they advance in this series? It's thrown me for a loop here. I thought we were going to go a very different direction in the map ban phase.
Yeah, it's a fair critique and a fair question because, as we've already mentioned, this is a single elimination, cutthroat last chance qualifier bracket. You do not get a second chance. This is not best of ones where you get a chance to mess around and recover in the back half. Maybe there's best of threes on the other side. This is it. So if you mess around and lose a map, that can quickly turn into 2 maps. That is a series, and that is your season dashed. Your hopes destroyed at going to the Atlanta Major. Of course, Mirage are going to be favored here. They were in the NAL. Not only are Arial Arise a T2 team, this is essentially a pug stack of players that have not played together very much, that have formed specifically for the purpose of last chance qualifier destruction. The odds are in Mirage's favor, but Arial Arise, they're going to come out on Oregon to shake things up, and they'll get a chance to do that on the defense. That is where they will begin. A mirror image to what we saw in our first series of the afternoon. We head down to basement, where this map will begin.
5 seconds
I
left.
think the saving grace here is we'd get 4 operator bans as is standard, as is typical. We got the Montaigne, the Kai, the Ying, and the Azami taken off the board away from play. I think the safety net here for Mirage is that skyscraper. A little more complicated of a map, a little deeper rotation in terms of bomb sites, and also a map they were able to win in regulation 7-5 against Oxygen on, which was viewed as a bit of an upset earlier on in group stage of NAL. This stage. So I think for Mirage, they do have a bit of a safety net at the end there with Skyscraper. It's just these first 2 maps could get a little hairy very quickly. Bay is going to start things off, launching again a pre-placed Nitro we saw in the first series between Wildcard and Beast Coast, but it seems like Mirage have read that one out well. Pre-fires from Slothy, not quite sure if he connected onto the Nitro cell there, as the C4 itself wasn't pinged by a drone. But nonetheless, still a little hesitant. We'll re-drone to double check, and Mirage focusing a lot of their attention towards the front of lobby. This might end up just being a laundry and freezer take, completely disregarding the back tower stairs.
Well, as every Oregon attack typically begins on the basement site, they open both options. They do indicate that, they could approach from freezer, they could approach from laundry, but they also make the steps towards that E-box hatch and those pillar stairs and the bunker approach from that construction spawn, giving themselves a lot of options so that if it comes down to it, and a push from one side is denied, they can rotate around and come from the back. It's what a lot of teams have become more and more comfortable doing on this map over the years, and it's a mark of a truly gifted team if you can pivot last second and find some success while doing it. There it is. Kansan will work his way around towards bunker, send a drone in and get a bit of information to see if in fact they want to approach from this side, what lies in wait for them through the door. The answer to that is going to be poison and 3 toxic smokes that he is likely to start to use soon if he feels this push coming.
The rotation from Inrio into elbow now to maintain that shield position so the smokes won't be used to quell the aggression in through blue. Poison will get the first pick though onto vertical. Slothy will trade him out and get traded out in return. So it's a 2v4 to work out of here from the Mirage attack. A nice shot there from Kansan. A over-aggressive swing there for Brios as well. 2v4 evaporates to a 2v2 very quickly. Now Poison, point blank range with a shotgun. Super powerful on the box door, and he will swing out and claim the life of both Spiker and Kansan. There goes Poison making his mark on the round, and a little bit more of an off-meta position for the smoke.
Well, if you're familiar with the T2 scene at all, if you watched any Element 1 earlier this year, I've been following it at all, you got Poison, you can call him Mr. P, because he is going to deliver kills like that. He is going to deliver clutches like that on a regular basis. And we often see Poison go to war with some of the best in the business and come away with a victory. And that's what he was able to do there. A good effort there from Mirage to turn that 2v4 into that 2v2 situation. And part of that can be credited to maybe Arial Rise swinging just a bit too aggressively. You called out Brios for that one, Flynn, and I'll have to agree. We saw a couple of moments where Arial Rise could have afforded to just sit back, relax just a bit. You've got the advantage of a substantial one. Why don't you let Mirage come to you? Obviously, it ended up working out just fine. Arial Rise took the win thanks to a nice double kill to close it out by the man himself. But it maybe came closer than it should have. Good start for Arial Rise, though. One round in on Oregon. Great place to be.
Attackers locate and defuse a bomb.
So, Arial Rise is going to swap things up a little bit. Being forced to move away from the basement after being successful downstairs, they will not bring out anything too insane, and they will head towards top floor. Every now and again, you'll see a team run the kitchen and meeting site as the secondary bomb site, just try to change the pace and change the flow of the game, but Oregon seems like it's going to be a very standard Oregon these days. And Amaru into T3, though, from Rampy, anything but standard, and wants to get the pace going, making sure they have some control for an attic push potential. I think for Mirage here, again, establishing a lot of control throughout the map, making sure they have some presence in Armory now with Kansan, and T3 with Rampy. It's a good position to be in to start things off, and not a lot of, I guess, aggression here for Arial Rise, trying to stop the entry from Mirage into Master. This push here not being stopped or slowed down by a shield, no opening into the attic wall either, so Mirage here, free entry to be able to jump in and get some work done early.
So far, so good. This can opener will not be able to get this attic wall open thanks to the mute jammer on the other side. That will mean attic control is firmly in the grasp of Arial Rise for a bit longer. And Rampy, despite making quick and early progress with that Gara hook up into T3, is now going to be stalled out. He'll have to rely on his teammates to now work their way in from the other side, maybe deal with that mute jammer from below. But speaking of, that push may be hampered by Poison here, who's got a nitro cell and he's not afraid to use it.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is just that Poison's completely... I think he just got droned on that position, but Mirage not taking action against it. Slothy will head down below. Man's trying to launch a nade over the attic wall, but Woos will avoid it deftly. Now Brios retakes into tower as Rampy has evacuated the position, and Brios lancing bullets through the armory window. Able to tag up Kansan momentarily, but Rampy has repositioned himself onto the kid's rappel, and he'll tag and drop Inrio for the opener. Bay, though, with a quick response onto Slothy. So it's the Solus for the Ash. Now Blue's contending with more breaching potential in towards the attic wall. This is a very perilous situation to be in for Mirage as they collapse into the bomb site. Still so many reinforced positions here for Arial Rise defenders to cut them down on their entry. Kansan preoccupied with a member downstairs inside a classroom as that nitro cell had detonated inside of the closet. Bay and Brios both going for the flank. Poison would get one, Woos with another. A 2v3 as Kansan is well wary of the flank coming. Decapitates Brios, another one turning to the corner. He will not be successful on two, and it's just Rampy alone now in the 1v2 with no diffuser control. The time ticks against him, pushing into kids towards the attic. Rotate will spot and decapitate Woos. We swap to the player cam, anticipating the end, but it's still the 1v1. Bay trying to hold the diffuser, and the swing will be successful. Inside a trophy, Arial Rise, and there's the celebration we were waiting to see from Woos.
Yeah, there's the yell. He knew twice. So thankfully, we are able to get back into Oregon, and we'll get to talk a bit more about Clubhouse and potentially Skyscraper a bit down the line if it is in the cards. But for now, We return to round number 3, where Arial Arise have successfully defended basement. They've successfully defended dorms. So now we go to kitchen and meeting for their third site of choice.
Yeah, nothing too crazy here. I think it's been about 6 months since we've seen someone run a kitchen and
10
dining
seconds left
defense on
before
Oregon.
insertion.
Just completely has fallen by the wayside. It used to be about a 50-50 between
5 seconds to
this site
insertion.
and kitchen dining, but seems like meeting has prevailed as the more
Attackers are
favorable
moving out
bomb
to
site.
locate a bomb and defuse
If
it.
you are in the situation where you do end up winning back-to-back defensive rounds of downstairs and upstairs. I think for Mirage here, swapping out some operators a little bit. We do have the Brava coming in to be able to hack a few pieces of utility, and with so much intel gathering device is on the side of Arial Rise here with Valkyrie and Echo. It's a good opportunity to acquire some intel of your own, and I think pushing in towards the bomb site direct from the tower side has always been the more successful attacking avenue, but again, Mirage seem to have their sights set on a meeting entry through front door right now, and just narrowly missing the first engagement with Slothy. As I believe a reinforcement was still going up there at the end
A
for
bomb has
Arial
been
Rise. So
located.
some setup taking a little too long for the T2 team, but they survive nonetheless, and this is, again, an attack here from Mirage that seems very lobby-centric.
Right now, putting all their eggs in that lobby basket. They've got an avenue into the site already that they could always take advantage of when they see fit. For now, they're doing the safer thing, and they are going to apply some pressure from both sides. You see the Clutch drone there sneaking its way on in. Kansan says hello to Inrio and now drops in through the window only to get beamed through the smoke. How unlucky is that? Good shot there from Inrio, but a nice bit of luck on his side gets him the opener in round number 3. A quick flurry of kills, though, returns this one closer to even, as Mirage will chip away at Arial Arise, but Arial Arise will do the same. It's a 3v4 with Mirage needing to get something going here. Now down a man, Slothy missing his opportunity to take out one, and now with the vertical on his back, this one is not looking good for Mirage whatsoever.
No, Slothy had Diffuser trying to walk in through Split. He's now gone topside to try and aggress onto the last remaining member on here. And it would be Spiker, actually, to join him. And as Bay was, I imagine, piloting the Yokai drones. His foot will be spotted underneath the bunk. Let's bring it back to a 2v3 and spotting the smoke of Poison rotating through T1. So, again, Arial Arise in a 4v2. Overextending slightly. Giving Mirage an opportunity. More breaching charges go out as the soft floor gets ripped apart. But here for Arial Rise, the spread coming out from these defenders, every avenue in towards the bomb site is seemingly on lockdown. Mirage not having many options other than dropping in through the meeting hatch from Attic. And that's exactly what they'll be forced to do here with 20 seconds ticking away. Slothy will drop in, using the frag grenade as sound cover there as well. So nicely done. Slothy getting the plant down in behind the sandbags. The cover good here from Spiker. He'll drop Inrio and level the man count as the plant gets completed. So it's 2 guns against 2 guns. But the DMR from Brios again dealing heavy damage. And there it is, a clean sweep. Mirage losing all 3 attacking rounds. And Arial Arise, a clean sweep of defensive objectives.
Yeah, a little 1, 2, 3. Any site they want, they secured it. And that is a troubling start for Mirage. Yes, it's Oregon. Yes, it's hard to attack. This is Mirage against Arial Arise. This is a pro team versus a T2 team. Really, a combination of T2 teams put together for the last chance qualifier. No wonder they're taking their tactical timeout now. It seems like it is much needed. Arial Arise, they're clearly feeling good. They're clearly feeling comfortable. They just cannot afford to get complacent. But if they keep their foot on the gas, I mean, so far so good. Keep it up.
Yeah, like we talked about heading in, like the desk talked about, Oregon in Clubhouse. Oregon specifically seems like a very odd map to take a T2 team to. But on the flip side of it, like, you still got to know how to attack the map. And I think the real hurdle for Mirage here is converting a bomb site execute. You know, their setup to getting towards the objective hasn't actually been bad on all 3 attacks. I think going lobby-centric for the meeting push was not the most ideal position, but the other 2 attacks, you know, you get set up with all 3 hatches open, attacking the basement, and then everyone just kind of funnels down a hatch. attacking top floor, you're opening up these tiny little breach holes that the defenders can use more than you can, and you just get cut to shreds trying to walk into the bomb site. And again, here, you're able to get in for a plant, but you lose 2 people just walking in through split. It's just another one of those situations for Mirage where their attacks do not seem like they have any depth to them, and Mirage's only thought on the attack thus far has been push site, get kill, get plant. And I'm sorry, like, they may be a T2 team, but on Oregon at the very least, you're gonna have to do a little better than that.
Anybody need a shave?
I will say, I
10
did think
seconds remaining.
that Spiker had a chance in that situation. Picking up the first kill, it looked like he may have had a chance at another one. There was a glimmer of hope for Mirage in that round, to be sure. I mean, it's not like they are getting absolutely bodied. The scoreline may indicate that, but if you're paying attention round by round, I mean, it's not that one-sided. But Mirage now have to just find a way to keep it close, just flip the result, find a way to go toe-to-toe with this Arial Arise defense and just push it over the line, just enough to take that victory. We'll see what they want to do now. Arial Arise can, of course, go back down to that basement site that they were successful on in that very first round. So Mirage, we all know they're gonna have their work cut out for them. They're gonna have to go through a lot of steps here. They're gonna have to be quite cautious. You see Arial Arise playing a slight roam. I think we just had one player up above for just a moment before everyone has since dropped down below. You will have some pressure on those freezer stairs, probably a shotgun from Poison around the other side. But right now, we see no one else from Arial Arise actively challenging that first floor, and that's given Mirage all the control that they need.
Once again, a lot of first floor control here for Mirage in the attack, opening up all the hatches so they have all the options in the world. It's just going to, again, come down to that conversion onto the bomb site, the avenue they take, and the teamwork they're able to demonstrate while doing so, as opposed to everyone just waterfalling down the stage hatch and jumping into the meat grinder that is E-Box. I think for Mirage here, they have identified that they need to change some things up. Rampy's heading towards the tower stairs at the very least. They're going to have some control there for Mirage. If he's able to establish that position, dealing with some impact grenades coming out, I believe, from Brios. The only one who has them at the availability. But explosions nonetheless. Yeah, it was Brios from Pillar, the double stack here from Bay, and Brios holding down the tower stairs. Yes, Kairos will get shot off as Spiker tries to open up an angle in towards Harry Potter. Hansen rotating with Rampy towards the back of tower stairs, but again, this cycling act here for Mirage, they're eating up a lot of utility and not getting a whole lot done for it. Less than a minute ticking away here against Mirage, and again, this is going to be an explosive 5v5.
Arial Arise know what's coming, though. Like you said, doing such a good job of countering this utility game for Mirage, just going blow for blow. They haven't had to expose themselves to any vulnerable gunfights. Finally, Bay will do it, but Bay will win it. Now putting Arial Arise into the advantage. Rampy has some information to work with, sure. They know where Bay is, but they have to now take the time to deal with it. They'll drop down into E-Box. Bay gets 2. It's 3. It's 4 on the round for Bay. Spiker is now the last player standing, and Brios will shut him down too. It's Arial Arise, 4 in a row.
Man, I thought we were changing things up here for Mirage, and unfortunately, we have 2 people who drop E-Box hatch on the attack after surrendering the opening pick, trying to throw a nade into a magnet that was still up and not burned. And I don't even know if their feet hit the floor before they were dead on that drop down the hatch. So some puzzling decisions being made here from Mirage on the attack, and I think for right now this is about salvaging. You're going to try and hopefully have a better attack towards the top floor. That'll force them to run it back twice. If you can get 2 attacks onto the top floor, or maybe if you are successful in this attacking round, you can force Arial Arise to take the tertiary bomb site of Meeting and Kitchen. You have a chance to salvage a 4-2 half here, but Arial Arise in swift control, and again on a map that is very standard. It's very cut and dry. There's not a whole lot of innovation to be done. It just seems like Mirage have no intention of taking another step in terms of their attacking philosophy. It's very one-dimensional right now, and Arial Rise are seeing right through it.
Dorms is the perfect bomb site, though, to take that one-dimensional attack and add another dimension to it. Add that 3rd dimension. Go crazy, add the 4th dimension. On this site up top, you can approach from one place. And if you do, great. But if you want to mix it up and approach from the other side, maybe approach from a third angle, you are going to have so much more success on this attack. You can approach from master. You're almost always going to see teams open that closet wall. But at the same time, you can approach from attic. You can open up the back on that north side and work your way through. Better yet, add a third spot. Open up that dorms window and pressure from the west. A little bit of both, a little bit of all three, or maybe two of those positions highlighted there can get you enough to change it up, to change the rhythm, and to not find yourself walking into a death trap. You can say all you want. It is easier said than done, of course, but Rampy, exposed to a pixel and small tower, will go down first.
Another opening pick for Arial Arise, and it's just Inrio on the Solus alone in small tower who gets the first one. Rio's taking aim towards Trophy. Poison grabs another one. Everyone from Mirage just hitting the bomb site and hitting the grave. Wow. It's a flawless round for Arial Arise as Mirage lose Rampy outside a big window, say screw it, everyone walk to the same door, and they all wind up 6 feet under.
Flynn, I take it they didn't hear my rant.
I don't think they're hearing us at all, brother.
That's a shame. That really is. It's like, all right, let's talk about all the different ways you can approach it all at the same time. And instead, let's go one of those directions. Let's not do our due diligence and let's just walk on in. Hey, sometimes it works. It worked for Beast Coast earlier in a couple of moments. But it's not a sustainable strategy. And it's obviously not one that Mirage is going to be able to rely on whatsoever. I mean, a great opener from Inrio. He had a little angle that Rampy just wasn't expecting. Talk about not doing your due diligence. A drone in small tower would have been nice, and that would have been a great bit of information for Mirage before they made their approach. And that little mistake compounded, as you said, Flynn, after they lost that body, they just decided to send it all in one way. And we saw how that went. It's 5-0 Arial Arise right now. Oregon defense is different, sure.
5 seconds to go.
But Mirage just do not have it right now. It is Arial Arise all the way.
Attacker's objective is to locate a
and
bomb.
again, I hate to bag on Mirage because it's like this is a team that has shown flashes of actually being competent and being able to compete with the top tier NAL teams we've seen at this stage. This is just not a good demonstration of how to attack Mirage on the face of it, unfortunately. This could entirely flip the
bags on Mirage. Hey, I'm here for it.
if we flip the script, if we go to defense here for Mirage and they're able to pull this around, whether it's a 5-1 or a 6-0 at the half, because those are the only two options available to Mirage now. If they are able to pull this back on defense, then we can chalk it up to it. No one's having a good day attacking and move on, but right now Mirage backs against the wall in a tournament that we said everyone required perfection. Arial will escape with his life there as again another member for Arial Arise. Caught off on a rotation, but not capitalized upon by Mirage. These attackers unable to secure those opening picks. I think for Mirage here again, focusing on the lobby push. They're going to need to combine it with some top pressure at the same time, as opposed to doing that later after you've lost a couple members. So for Mirage here, the entry in the west side of showers and dining is nice, but again, you're going to need to clear out these defenders playing topside with all this control.
Yeah, they really need one round, don't they? Just one, maybe, and that can get them back on their feet. But Arial Arise sit one round away from a complete defensive shutout of this Mirage attack. 90 seconds already wasted. 90 seconds remain here. Arial Arise doing a nice job of staying patient and really not giving Mirage any opportunities here. For all the pressure that Arial Arise have applied in the early round in the past, this is a nice change. A good change of pace here that Mirage clearly aren't quite ready for. And time is just ticking away. Slothy trying to force the issue here, but it's got to be careful because that's basically a crossfire. Kansan, maybe he can do it. Desperately trying to take this top floor control away from the defense, but that's easier said than done. Brios is not going to go down easy. He's not going to go down without a fight. He takes care of one and nearly takes care of Kansan as well, but Mirage are here and they are fighting back. Rampy gets another. Slothy and Kansan very low HP, but alive. And that's most important. Arial Arise, only 3 bodies. Mirage, 4 to do the rest of the job.
Rio's taking a handful of damage as well, down to about 25 as the hammer will open up. Kanza will not spot the member of Arial Rise playing inside of CCTV. Poison on the flank as the smoke as well. The rotation in classroom does not go as well for Inrio, but here comes the top flank from Poison. He gets one. Looking down the hatch, he's going to force the pull off the plant, but the AK-12 rings out supreme. Mirage will get one round on attack, narrowly, as it was a beautiful shot there from the ace to stop the flanking smoke in his tracks. But nonetheless, it's a fight. Sorry?
That was that Poison up top?
Poison
on the smoke?
Flanking smoke, yeah.
God, if he had waited 3 seconds, they win the round. Like, oh my God, that was so close, Flint. He did not need to peek when he did. Obviously didn't know when the diffuser, like how long was left on the diffuser. But had he just waited a hair, that round could have gone the other way.
Well, it's something for Mirage. Take what you can get at this point. It's a 5-1 half. It's a better scoreline than a 6-0. That's about what you take away from that first half. You throw it behind you, and like I said, Oregon defense is different. It is a more powerful side. It's one of the most defensive-sided maps in the pool. I think if nobody's able to win an attack on this map, then we can just kind of chalk it up as that's how this map's going to go. No team wants to attack any better, so this is what we get. There's still a lot of possibility here for Mirage, and again, getting that round by the skin of their teeth just ensures that they aren't backs against the wall for every single round. They don't have to be flawless for 6 rounds in a row to send it to overtime. They do have even the opportunity to win this in regulation, but at the very least, they have one round where they can make an error and not come away victorious. On the flip side, though, all it takes is 2 mistakes, and Arial have won the first map. Your map pick, nonetheless, and then we go to Clubhouse, which is Arial Rise's pick. This is already on a knife's edge for Mirage, and the comeback, if it is going to happen, needs to start now.
Sensor on. Searching for
Yeah, they do not have the cushion to play with, like Arial Rise do. As you said, this is a big margin. A long road for Mirage here. One that they will have to start chipping away at here on this basement defense. Very realistic that they can do it. Obviously, this basement site has been very, very difficult for attacking teams to take today. And a lot of information for Mirage to work with will tell them where they should keep their eye on and how exactly they should be pivoting their defense down below, where they should be using the 2 C4s that Slothy and Rampy have in pocket, where the 4 impacts should be focused on as well. So much going Mirage's way here, and they haven't even stepped foot on the first or second floor. They're doing it all from the safety of the objective. And look at it. It is ripe information that Arial Rise just have no idea is there.
Yeah, no, the amount of intel being gathered here, not only with the Valkyrie cameras, with the Solus as well. This is a good spot to be in for Mirage's defense. They know where the attack is coming. Finally, the Valkyrie camera outside of Whitehall will get spotted. There's still 2 more up gathering intel inside of Meeting and Split, though. So for Arial Rise here, their attack is telegraphed. Mirage should be reading this quite well. Here comes a drop into the E-Box hatch, but nobody dies this time on the drop. This time the push outside of E-Box, though, is not as successful. And everyone for Arial Rise will start falling to pieces. It's Brios alone in a 1v5. And the Flawless is just not there. Brios escapes on 1 HP, but Vert will get onto the board for the first time in this series, in this round. And there it is, Mirage, able to replicate a lot of the success we saw from Arial Rise, denying a double E-Box drop. And it's a first defensive round victory here for Mirage to try and propel them in the direction of bringing this one back.
And so it begins. Mirage do it with a flawless round. Talk about trying to take the momentum back. Just demolishing Arial Rise on that one. Like you said, the E-Box drop came in, and they just got picked off one by one by one until there was nobody left. So much information certainly helped. But at the end of the day, great shots. And Arial Rise just had no way to respond. Walking in blind to an objective arguably prematurely. I mean, you see right here, 1:05 on the clock. Trying to get a lot done. Maybe they thought they saw an opening that simply wasn't there. Maybe Mirage kind of teased them a little bit, showed that maybe there was an opening, when in fact there wasn't. Something that you can't normally do without a ton of information, but guess what? Mirage had a ton of information. We saw the pings and the vault cams giving them so much throughout the entire round, and that is why they are allowed to play these little tricks on you. And Arial Rise walked right into the trap.
No, it's just like what we were seeing from Mirage on their attacks towards the basement, where it was just disconnected. You know, whether there was a person on tower stairs or not, the timing wasn't there, and they weren't pushing in tandem to be able to initiate a trade. They were all funneling in one by one and dying one by one, and that's very indicative of what you see of a T2 attack on Oregon. A T1 attack shouldn't really be in that same position, but nonetheless, attack is behind us for Mirage. They're now on the defense, and if Arial Rise just bring out more attacks very similar to what we saw from Mirage, like I said, this could just end up being an Oregon where nobody wins on attack. We go to overtime, whoever's on defense in overtime decides it, or if someone wants to be a superstar and win the round on an individual play, they can. Rampy is going to try and be that individual up in T3 on the Fenrir, so he's already deployed his utility. I think he still has 2 activations in his pocket, though, so should he die here, only one of his Fenrir traps. He's actually not even deployed all of them yet. There goes the last one. But he still does have 2 activations here, and he's being collapsed upon, and there goes the Gara hook. Irio will be dropped to about 20 HP, but the headshot from the G8 successful. Remove Rampy from T3. A very good start here for Arial's attack.
Well, that's why the Amaru is brought out on this specific site and on Oregon every once in a while, because it allows you quick, easy access to tower and allows you to spring up just like that when the defense isn't expecting it. Now, Inrio has a sliver of HP remaining, nearly cost him his life on that maneuver, but they get the kill, they force Rampy out, and they're not going to have to deal with Fenrir's Dread Mines for the remainder of this round. So that is a good place to be, or at least a good place to start. There's still a lot of work left to do. Brios trying to push up, had a nade out for a moment and gets absolutely torn apart. Also at 1 HP now within Rio. From behind, a little flank from Slothy gets the job done while Spiker shuts down the pressure from the other side. And what was looking promising from Arial Rise is now looking very scary. Low HP, 30 seconds, disjointed. Bane needs to get this kill, and if that's not going to happen, then I don't know what they're supposed to do. Inrio's hit the ground. Brios is in the middle of the site, can't find a kill, gets mowed down by Kansan. Yeah, that one is not too shocking. On such low HP, without the support from anyone around you, how much are you really going to be able to get done? Mirage, that's 2 in a row. The comeback continues.
It does, and I think for Arial Rise here, just, again, very disjointed attacks. It really did come down to some 1v1s. The trade inside of Attic doing some good work, but honestly, the flank there from the Solus coming up the armory stairs, just a difference maker, because once that mirror was opened up, the attack had no real progression through Attic. Still a member of the defensive Mirage inside of Kids. They got stalled out, and then you're just banking on a 1v1 coming up white stairs here from Bay, and it's the super shorty, unfortunately. He can't win that out with an FMG9, so again, just one of those attacking rounds for Oregon where things are just very individualistic. There's a group of 2 working together inside of Attic. Everyone else is trying to win a 1, and unfortunately, it does not go Arial Rise's way. So, seeing some very curious attacking philosophies coming out from both of these teams on Oregon, I must say. But here we are with Mirage, 2 on the bounce, looking to make it a clean rotation, just as Arial Rise did on their first half of the defense. So, like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel seemed very far away from Mirage at a 5-1 scoreline at the half, and yet here we are. They're 2 rounds away from tying this thing up, and if they're successful here. They look on a clean road all the way to winning this regulation, or at least matching the 5-1 that Arial put up.
Well, we talk about Oregon as a defender-sided map, and we are seeing that now. But with defender-sided maps, at least this heavily, it really becomes who can attack better. Attacking will win this game, and apparently in, well, Bay's case, running out of the window, or not dying to the player running out of the window will win the game. Somehow ends up going down to Slothy, an absolute mess of an engagement. But eventually, and immediately, it will get traded out. Now, Slothy coming from tower, that tells Arial Rise that it is probably clear and they can push into this position. But honestly, a great kill for Slothy. Sure, you've lost your Solus, a valuable resource, but the Osa shields are no longer going to be a factor. The stage take that Arial Arise were probably cooking up is now going to be much more difficult to get done without some substantial top floor control.
Well, I mean, honestly, like that may look a little weird there from Sloppy flying out of T2 for the engagement. I mean, the Solus is very powerful, but getting at the Osa seems to be a big integral part of the planting operation here. Nice shot from Brios onto the Nitro Cell, though. It comes soaring up the meeting hatch into Attic. But that Osa seemed to be integral to the planting operation for Arial Rise, and they seem to be scrambling now to find a new location. And Poison and Inrio have rotated over to Dining, try and open up the wall here, but they haven't cleared out topside. I don't think this was the initial plan here. This Attic push hasn't been able to progress very far. Spike with SNG-11 will win against both Brios and Woos. So now it's all falling apart for Arial Rise in plan B here.
What? Vertical somehow spots Inrio before he even rounds the corner. Rampy from above collects the last kill, no problem, onto Poison. And I mean, that's all she wrote for that attack. Done and dusted in seconds, it felt like. And who knew that the Osa was literally everything to Arial Arise, because that attack crumbled the moment she was gone. And I don't know if Slothy knew it was the Osa outside or just got lucky, but hey, if you're Mirage, you are more than happy to take that. I mean, he knew people were amassing outside, as they always do, but to collect the Osa, the one player that you are relying on to guarantee, essentially, a safe plant on stage, to have her killed early, such a benefit for Mirage. And just kill. After that, it was just too easy for them, because Arial Arise threw their initial plan out the window, tried to do 800 things at once, and it really was just never coordinated enough to get the job done.
Certainly what it seems like, because you can see that air jab was inside of Attic on the mattress, which means the initial intent here from Arial Rise was never to extend beyond the Attic hatch. They wanted it for control, but they never wanted to actually clear top using that. They just wanted to stop a rotation late, many of the defense. Same thing with the Osa and the stack towards T3 and T2 for the initial entry. Like, they're just going for a tower take, trying to breach open the meeting wall with the Osa shields and get the plant down. Very standard, but once you lose the Osa, the adaptation there for Arial Rise just kind of fell apart, trying to rotate to a dining attack, but not having cleared out top floor, and just missing a lot of gunfights as well. So for Arial Rise, having similar difficulties on the attack that Mirage had. So like I said, we can kind of just chalk up the first half to being, this is now a very defender-sided Oregon. This is two teams that don't seem to have the attacks down on this map. So now it's going to be a battle of who can win the most defenses, or who can be that team to come away with more than one attack, as Arial was able to win all but one round on the defense. Mirage, they can do just one round better than that. They can win at 7-5 in regulation on a clean defensive sweep. Go to overtime, though, then either whoever gets defense to start overtime is going to win based on how things have gone, or someone needs to be a hero and go the extra mile to get that attack around.
One of these days, maybe, we'll see Arial Arise take it, but, I mean, after 3 in a row for Mirage, the clean sight rotation, you gotta wonder, when is that going to be? Mirage, once again, not overexposing themselves. They do not want to make it any easier on Arial Arise than they have to. Everyone is back down below, safe, and waiting for Arial Arise to make a move. About the same position we found ourselves last time we were here, with Arial Arise getting these hatches open. The big difference from your typical basement attack, and the reason we saw Arial Arise get into so much trouble last time around, was that at around now, around that 60-second mark, Arial Arise decided to drop in prematurely. This time, they're not going to make the same mistake. Doing their due diligence here, nearly getting that kill onto Spiker with the nade, but Brios was going to try to do it the old-fashioned way. Steps up, a quick kill with a bullet to the head. Poison onto vertical 2. It's a good start for Arial Arise. Exactly what they're looking for here when attacking this basement.
Yeah, the
Flood seemed to work out a lot better here, but Slothy spotting Poison, drifting away. That's the diffuser dropped inside of Blue as well, leveling the man count. Bay trying to push a 1v1 down the bottom of Laundry Stairs, so this is starting to get a lot more winnable here for Mirage off of Slothy's heroics. Inside of Freezer Hallway again, just evading the eyesight of Bay. Slothy going huge on the Warden with about 25 HP. Arial retreating to Blue, up against the shotgun of Spiker to recollect the diffuser. They both send in towards Elbow. It'll be a 1-for-1 as it's just Woo's left remaining with 10 seconds ticking away. He has to retreat for the diffuser as well. There's no time to do this. It looks like we are going to be at a 5-5 as the clock will strike midnight on Woo's. He'll try and get the plan down into the overtime, but Slothy well rewarded for his heroics in that round. It was a 5-1 scoreline, a 5-0 scoreline at that, and we stand at 5-5.
Mirage are back. Fear not. If you're a Mirage fan or we're really hoping that the pro team would take it over the T2 villains, don't worry about it, because Mirage are here to play. It's 5-5, and in that round, Slothy, you mentioned the heroics, Flynn. That's, I think, even understating it. He is the reason that Mirage won that round. Collected 3 kills, I believe, was his total tally. It's not about the number, though. It's about when those kills ended up landing. Right here, in that moment where he snuck into Pillar, under the watchful eye of the Flores drone. Yes, that must have been some kind of breakdown in the communication of Arial Arise, but the fact that he was able to get in there and get the kill and then eventually rotate to Freezer to get another kill onto the player in Laundry, I mean, just perfection from him, propelling him to 11 kills right now and tying us up at 5.
Like I said, no team wants to win an attack on Oregon, so we play a very, very defender-sided Oregon, and now we have a map. It really seemed like this was getting away from Mirage early on in the first half, and here we are, somehow, at a 5-5. So, we'll see if Mirage can do it. Can they complete the clean sweep 6 in a row on defense to win it 7-5 in regulation? Just to remind everyone of the format here, these are just best of 3s. Like, there's points for how you win and stuff in terms of tie breaks for like the seeding for SI points, but the real thing that matters here, especially for a team like Mirage, who did not have the best stage number 1 and didn't acquire any SI points in stage number 1, is you just want to get to Atlanta, so you can't lose a series end sentence. There are tie breaks and stuff for points for the SI points later on, but all you need here for Mirage is 2 more rounds. And we said that about Arial Rise about 20 minutes ago. All they needed was 2. They've acquired exactly 0. And this initial entry here coming from the Nook of Inrio seems to have evaded the sight of Slothy about the drop. They're gonna meet each other at the bottom of the freezer stairs, and Slothy will come out superior in that engagement, possibly spotting the Nook on the Solus HUD to get the opener. So again, Mirage starting on a good footing here.
Yeah, great place to be in. I mean, who would have thunk it? Mirage taking the lead maybe in round 11. Won't speak too soon, but it's looking good. Inrio did not have the opportunity to be that little element of surprise, that thorn in the side of this defense as the Nook. Instead, Arial Arise, they're going to have to pick up the weight there. Brio's having a heck of a game. Really, everyone right now, except for Inrio on Arial Arise, is having a heck of a game. But they're going to have even more than that if they want to push this over the line, because they've stalled out so close to the finish line. And that's just a tough feeling to shake. At the window, Poison, so maybe trying to vault in, gets denied. Bay gets one back, but that is all that Arial Arise will find here in this round. Bay is now the only player that remains. His position down below is known, and this round feels like it's already over.
Yeah, there goes another frag grenade from Bay as he pushes his way up White Stairs, but he's going to spot the mirror window playing on the trophy wall, and mine at his foot. I'm not sure how he hasn't stepped on it yet. He's evaded that thing perfectly here, line dancing around at the top of the stairs. It's still just sitting there. Hey, bud, yeah, there we go. We shoot it. We get rid of it. I knew I wasn't crazy. But again, there's not much to be done here for Bay. It's going to be 5, or yeah, that's 6 in a row here for Mirage. It was a 5-0 scoreline. It's 6 rounds straight for Mirage, up 6-5. And on their map pick, where things seemed like they were getting absolutely out of control and they were going to get stomped on it, They now have map point.
Unreal. What has happened to Arial Arise? The tack timeout. Why is it happening this late in the game? You wait until it's a match point to make it happen. Maybe there was something that, they were discussing in between each round that they felt was a sufficient adaptation, was a good way to get themselves out of the hole they now find themselves in. But at this point, they are just trying to stave off defeat. Who would believe that? 5-0 to 6-5 the other way. Mirage just keeping it clean, and the only thing they have to do is defend Meeting and Kitchen once more.
I think for both of these teams, the lesson to take away from their attacking woes is be a little more sure of your push and a little less, yeah, that'll probably work. Seems like there's a lot of just throw your hands in the air and push sight involved in these attacks, whether it was there with the smoke plant attempt. I understand the smoke and the pressure from down below was supposed to work together on that one from Arial Rise, but we even saw it from Mirage, where it was like, okay, you surrender the opening pick and 4 people walk through a door. And there seems to be a whole lot of attacking philosophy of just push the site and just win the one, as opposed to creating uncomfortable situations for the defenders, making sure they cannot remain in their very comfortable power positions any longer. So that's the takeaway. We're on round 12 somehow, by the grace of nobody attacking very well on this map. It's Mirage up 6-5 on map point, and they're going to have to win for the clean sweep of 7 rounds in a row, from down 5-0 to a 7-5. And all 6 successful defenses, it all hinges on a Meeting and Kitchen defense, which is a dangerous one. The statistics would say we're probably going into overtime here, but Mirage is on a heater.
And jumping back to your previous point for a moment on Arial Arise not being able to really coordinate structured attacks or really good moments, really good utility-focused moments. Let us remind you that, yes, Arial Arise is a well-known organization that's been in T2 and T1 Siege for quite some time. But this is, for all intents and purposes, a pug stack assembled for this qualifier only. A lot of different teams coming together to form this single organization right now. And as a result, sure, defense is easy. Taking gunfights is easy. You can do that individually, but coordinating and coming up with a perfectly planned attack is a totally different beast. And that's what we're seeing right now. Now, they're going to move in quick and try to play that fragging game here in what could be the final round. And it may have worked for the opener, but it's not going to work for the next 3 kills. Poison and Inrio now find themselves alone as Mirage have clapped back. Slothy, that is 3 for him on the round, and Poison, trying to keep his team alive on Oregon, will be denied outright. It's 4 for Slothy, and it is a miraculous comeback from 0-5